morning all once again, and as promised I'm going to give you some detailed photos and instructions on how to create that ellipse by drawing it freehand and not using the construction method, which you can use by all means, but you're going to have compass holes and all sorts of such like in your paper, because there's a lot, not large, but a fairly substantial amount of construction lines needed to create the ellipse, and it may not be exactly what you're looking for in the drawing. For example, the top of a glass or the base of a glass. So yes, you can use the construction method. It's out there on the web. It's very simple, no, well, not simple, but it's reasonably simple. I don't use it, especially even if I'm drawing something like a tank or something like that, it has wheels, or a locomotive. I use the box method, which is the one I'm going to show you now, and the one most artists use, unless you're an architectural type person with a drawing board, and you can use a T-square and compasses and all sorts of things. Yes, you can produce amazing drawings, but not for a general painting. It doesn't have to be 100% exactly as it would need to be in an architectural or technical drawing. So without further ado, let's continue. So here we see a simple construction of an ellipse. I'm not sure if it's an or a, but nevertheless, if you look at the bottom left, you'll see a square. That square has been divided in half horizontally and vertically. And wherever those horizontal and vertical lines touch the edge of the square, that is where the circle will touch. So you can draw a perfect circle by using the center of those crossing horizontal and vertical lines. When it comes to an ellipse, as soon as you turn the circle, it now becomes an ellipse, as the top drawing shows. And you'll see that the square is now drawn in perspective, and if you continue the lines, the horizontal lines of that square, they will disappear into the distance, which is known as the vanishing point. So now you draw the width and the height of the square in your perspective area, and you bisect it the same as before, and joining those dotted lines you will actually form an ellipse. And you can see the front plane, the rear plane, and you'll see the mid plane, which is a bigger, fatter ellipse, but the two in the front and the back are quite thin and slender ellipses. So this gives you an idea how an ellipse is constructed. Obviously, if you need more, then you just draw more squares, but as you move away from the first one, they are going to get smaller until they disappear completely. I trust that this gives you a basic understanding. We're going to look deeper into it shortly, and I will show you some other drawings that are done using this. So here we have a wagon wheel constructed in precisely the same way. So you draw a square first, and then you draw the square behind it, the thickness that you want, and you bisect both, and you draw your ellipse where they touch the edge of each circle, and then you can rub out or erase the parts you don't need and leave the rim, etc. It's a great exercise to practice with, and I suggest you try it. It's very good, and you will learn a lot from it. Remember to observe and also note in which direction the axle is facing, because the axle goes through the center of the wheel, and in order to make it accurate, you need to draw that line through the center of the axle so that you can get the right turn on the square, the right perspective on the square before you draw your ellipses in. So have a go. Let's see what else we've got. Right, this is the most straightforward of them all. This is a fat aeroplane tire, and here you can clearly see the construction lines that are used to create this aircraft tire, starting from 1 top left, 2 top right, 3 bottom left, 4 bottom right for the final drawing. I don't expect you to put all the details in, but you can see how you get the thickness of the tire by drawing the circle at the back as far away from the front as necessary to give you the width of whatever you are drawing, or any other object that has ellipses in it. Have a go. Don't worry about all the detail. The main aim is to get your ellipses nice and smooth and even, and to get them in the right shape, and to get the perspective more or less right and the thickness. Good luck. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll go into perspective in more detail shortly.